Next game up on the card, we've got Vancouver, Florida, 63-64 on the rotation. No line here. In this particular game, Canucks starting a road trip out in the Eastern time zone, making this trip to Florida. And all of a sudden, we got to take back some words that I gave to Mr. Sateri there in Florida. He's played well the last few games and another solid effort last time out for him. The Finnish netminder has found a little something here for the Florida Panthers in between the pipes. See if he can continue it now, taking on the Vancouver Canucks. And what can I say about Vancouver? It's a team that just continues to give you a good, solid effort night in and night out. Even though they're, 21 win team, the playoffs aren't going to happen for Vancouver, but effort's been commendable most nights. They've won 3 of their last 5 games. They lost to Tampa at home 4-2 last game. No shame in that. All of a sudden, Vancouver 3 straight overs, by the way, in their last 3 games. 4-3 and a couple of 4-2 games. Their offense is clicking. They've got everybody healthy pretty much offensively, except Sam Gagner. Sam Gagner is the one guy that's out. He missed the last game with a concussion, may not be in tonight. But other than that, they finally got Bo Horvat back recently. Brock Besser continues to get the job done, put up points. So this is a better Vancouver offensive team, I think, now than they've been at other parts of the season. You look at Florida coming off 3 straight wins. Florida's starting to put some things together. Let's give them credit. Since the All-Star break, 3 straight wins against the Islanders, Buffalo, Detroit. You haven't beaten anybody good yet, though. I should keep that in mind. And I wouldn't say Vancouver's quote-unquote good. But Florida's in good form, and Florida's been excellent at home this year. It's hard to go against Florida right now. I respect the way Vancouver competes night in and night out, but Florida's playing very, very good. It's worth noting, I'm actually going to bet this game over one more time. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment here, but I'm going to. I think Vancouver's going to be able to test Florida's defense and Sateri. And on the flip side, I like this Florida offense where it's at right now. They've pelted 32 shots on goal or more in 3 straight games. They've scored 3 or more in each of those games. I don't trust the Backstrom Nilsson duo in net for the Vancouver Canucks. I think Florida and their upgraded offense lately, and I like the way things are going for them. We know the Barkov line is always dangerous, always a threat, but this Huberdeau, Trocheck, Dennis Malkin trio has really been big for Florida as of late. I think they're going to keep it rolling tonight offensively against Vancouver. And Vancouver's been an overtrain on the road. I mean, especially. This team's been really trending that way in games outside of Vancouver. 14-11 over record, 15-8 for Florida at home. And we've talked about that in many Ice Guys shows, that Florida's really trended over the total at home. I think that's got a chance to continue tonight. So we'll see where this total comes out. I'd expect 5.5. I don't think we'll see a 6 here. Usually we see 5.5, Vancouver, Florida. I think we'll get over the total here tonight, Canucks and the Panthers. It's one of Andrew's games on the card tonight, Florida taking on this Vancouver team. Andrew, what bet appeals to you here in this game tonight?
Yeah, guys, I'm seeing over 5.5 minus 104 here, and I'm really liking that one. I think that Florida has just been one of those teams you can really count on. Excuse me, just to be really sloppy on defense. But it's not really like we've seen that recently. But I think with Brock Besser and company with the Vancouver Canucks, the offense looked pretty good for them as of late, and they've been able to put the puck in the back of the net. So I think that this game's going to easily go over the total. The total's gone over in 4 of Vancouver's last 5 games. More importantly, 9 of their last 13 games on the road, the total's gone over, and 7 of Vancouver's last 10 of their games on the road in Florida have gone over the total. And I just think that right now it's just funny because, Ian, you were joking around about Sateri, and we were kind of bashing on him a little bit, the backup goalie situation for Florida. We were wondering kind of what their situation would be. And then you look at their last couple of games here, 3-2 win for Detroit versus Detroit, 4-2 win over Buffalo, 4-1 win versus New York Islanders. And all of a sudden they're making some headway here. But I just think that in the end they rely too heavy on their scoring and kind of their top 2 lines. They're not really a deep team at all, and their defense can be pretty shaky. So I think a lot of those games, honestly, where they're allowing teams to score just 1 or 2 goals, I think it's honestly more so just a bad game for the other team, for Buffalo and for New York. And I know it's just easy to say that, but if you watch, it wasn't really anything too spectacular of a performance from really the goaltending from Sateri or even the defense from Florida. I think it was just kind of a bad offensive performance. And like I said, I think Vancouver is performing very well right now. There's a lot of chemistry from their top 2 lines. And ever since that All-Star break, I think that was just kind of a big confidence booster for Brock Besser. Not that he really needed it, but a little bit of a bright light here for the Vancouver Canucks moving forwards. And I think that As far as the Florida Panthers go, like I said, I think they're going to continue to trend over as the season progresses. The total has gone over in 7 of their last 9 games, and of course 7 of their last 10 playing at home versus Vancouver. So this is definitely one of my top bets on the day. I think that this should be one of those ones where it's just an absolute the goal light's going to be on for half the game, guys. It's going to be a pretty good game, pretty exciting game, and hopefully lots of goals. So over 5.5 for me.
Yeah, and the last 2 meetings in Florida between these Canucks and Panthers have gone over. And the overs, and I pointed this out in the chat, 7-0 the last 7 games for the Florida Panthers against the Western Conference. So sometimes when you step outside a conference, you're just a little looser, I guess you could say, in your own zone. And maybe that's the case with the Florida Panthers. If you look into that trend, maybe they just don't tighten up as much in their own zone when they're, sometimes it is. It's like that. And I know people believe in that theory. A lot of handicappers, bettors I've talked about, not a lot, but a couple in the NFL, they subscribe to that. When it's AFC versus NFC, there's not quite that intensity there that there sometimes is in a division game, in a conference game where it's 2 good teams and you get a looser flow, more points, maybe slack defense a little bit. So I know there's that theory that floats around non-conference NFL games that they're higher scoring. Maybe that Florida trend tells you that maybe sometimes for certain teams, they're more higher scoring with non-conference games as well. So anyway, Andrew and I both liking the over 5.5 Vancouver, Florida tonight.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.